Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. So we're going to have a big day today. Not a long day, but a big day. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting the panels on both sides there, the top bit, and try and get the capping on. Then if I have any time, I'm going to do a bit of rendering. So I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to get the camera set up and start cutting up some blue board. Alright, so a bit more information today. So I've marked the length of that curved panel and I've marked the height up to those pencil marks that I said I've come down from the top. So, and I've got the centre marked also. That's the height of the thinnest part of that curve. So I know there are the 3 points that I need to swing an arc and have them run through those 3 points. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just put the tape measure out and work out roughly how long it's got to be. I'm going to put a stake in the dirt over there, connect up my rope, and then I can adjust the pen on the rope in and out a little bit, move the board around a bit till it touches those 3 points, and then just swing the arc around. So because everyone's different, I can't make a pattern up. I've got to do each one individually for where it's going. So I worked out that way to do it, and it works perfectly. Gives us a nice even curve, no lumps and bumps. So I'll get in and do that. So you should be able to just watch me do the rest of it. I don't need to talk too much, but that's the process I'm going to do to get this curve. First pop. Miracle. Come on, Rod. Loop. Flatter, so I've got to make this longer. Oh, spot on. Sometimes you can just be lucky. I put the tape out, bam, within 20 mil. Ran that across. The radius needed to be a little bit bigger, so I moved this 100 mil or 4 inches. Tried it again, spot on. So I'll run that across now, and then I can go and cut it off. And then I know that the other side of the panel is going to be the same, so I just have to do a mirror image of it. So yeah, pretty simple. But yeah, sometimes you can muck around with that for ages, but not this time. Damn you, rain. I don't think it's holding out long. So we'll just have to wait it out and I'll carry on. Nothing's going to get too wet that I can't. I'm talking and I'm looking over there planning my next step, and then I got sidetracked on what I was talking about. I was just looking at where I clamped the curve on that section last night, and I'm thinking I'm going to cut those bits of timber off before I put the curve pieces on. So in my head I'm going, yeah, that's a brilliant idea, that'll be much easier. And now I forget what I'm talking to you about. It doesn't matter. So anyway, I'll turn the camera off, conserve my battery power. Something's going on with my batteries. That's why yesterday the footage was a little bit choppy, because the batteries kept dying on me, and they take forever to charge. You put them in, usually they last a fair while, but yesterday they were just dying with no notice, and I'd be working away and I'd lose footage. So that's why yesterday's video was a bit choppy, but I thought the bulk of it was not too bad, so I continued on with it. But I wouldn't normally like to have footage that wasn't up to even my par, wasn't up to my par. So it'll be better today, hopefully. I've got batteries on charge. Hopefully they won't take too long. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to conserve power. So I'll go over and I'll get ready to cut those bits of timber off in preparation to putting the curves on. Well, hopefully that shower's over and done with. It looks like it's all gone. Actually, the wind and all's gone now. Strange. So I'm going to cut these off. I'm going to cut this a little bit lower. The bricks need to also be chipped away, so I'll get the timber out of the way first on both panels, then I'll do the brick, and then we can start putting it all together. Oh, I've got 2 more of these big panels to cut. Do that and then we'll start putting it together. Looks like I'm going to have to remove a couple of bricks here, but they should come out easy enough. So I'll cut that back down to there, remove that brick and shave the other one down. This one I just got to take that corner off, so it's not too hard. I'll go and do the other side. bird's eye view from up here. Looks pretty cool actually. So I'll show you how this angle is sort of, it's going to be all right now, but how it was a problem for me. So looking down on it, you can see it's what I know is a parallelogram, or what they call it, a rhombus or something or other. So it's an elongated rectangle if you look at it as being a rectangle. So, and because of the curve, and it's got to be at the same point either end, it's caused a problem. So if I can balance myself here. So that's why I've cut this piece like this. So each step along this, it's the same distance. See how you move that along and it stays parallel. It stays stays level. So, and then as you go along, same thing until you get to there. And then if you have a look at where my texture lines are, it's exactly where it needs to be. So now the trick is doing the peaked bit in the middle. That's going to require a bit more thought, but I've got this far, so I'm sure I can manage to work that last bit out. But I think that's pretty cool how that that shape slides down there and stays level. If I put a level on it, I could probably position it a little bit skew here and there to make sure it's perfectly level, but that's not the critical point. The critical bit is that it gets to the end and it's parallel with the pier down there. So, and then at the other end it's the exact same shape. I don't have to turn it around or do anything to it, and same deal. I've got to just lower this down a bit because you can see that's a bit higher than the line and that's a bit underneath. That's why that sits on an angle. Once I sort that out, it'll sit like that and it will be perfectly level. So I'm amazed. Don't know about you guys, but I am. All right, well, next, I've got to trim the bricks on the other one and then we can start putting it all together. Alright, so I've got everything cut, all the panels, all the curved bits, knocked all that stuff out. So now I can start putting all the panels on here. I'm going to start with the curves and then I'll put the panels in underneath afterwards. So I'm just going to use some liquid nails, plenty of this, make sure it's got a good fixing. Now I got these galvanised clouts. Yeah, they're galvanised, which is good, but when you hit them in, you knock the galvanising off and you can expose the raw steel, which can rust. So I'm only putting bare minimum in to just reduce the chance of rust. Because it's going to be rendered over, should be fine. But what happens when you put the render on, or flushing compound, whatever you might be using, while it's wet, it starts to rust. Then it dries and then the rust keeps growing. So shouldn't be a problem, but not much I can do. I've got to hold on there somehow. Now, where'd I put my hammer? There it is. I'll leave that one on there for a bit. Pull it in against the brick so that might squeeze some more glue in there. Little trick, I reuse these nozzles. So when that goes hard in the nozzle, I then, every time I go to use it, I just swap the nozzle over. But what I do is, there was a little bit of glue left in here, so I put a new nozzle on there, and then I cut the end off this, put the old nozzle on so it's still sealed. Then it's good to just, I've run out, all I need to do is swap nozzles, and I've got one already trimmed, because nothing worse, you go, oh, where's my Stanley knife or a chisel or something to cut the tip off, and you can't find one. That way you're ready to go, you don't get held up, and then that whole thing can then just go in the rubbish. I always get, when I go to Bunnings, I always get a few extra nozzles. I always say, do you want any extras? I normally go no, but now I'm just getting them because they could come in handy. So squeezing some glue in here. So with my pattern here, I'm just going to trace this out. Now, alright, so if I can leave the right amount of gap, which is about that, I should be able to just go along. We'll see how we go. Alright, we'll stack them all on there and see how it looks. So we've got our first one. That is amazing. Compound curve. What do you call this? A twisting compound curve. That's what you call it. So that's pretty cool. So I figured out I can't make the peak bits, or I can make them, I can't put them on because I haven't got the styrene until tomorrow. So I'll glue these on and I'll do the other one, and then I'll start mucking around with the peak bits, see how we go with that. As I've got that all in position, I'm going to lift one up, glue it, put it down, and then do the next one. And that way I'm not going to have to reset it up, so I'll do that. Alright guys, that's as far as I could go today. So when I get the styrene tomorrow, I'll be able to continue on and get the capping piece on. If you're wondering why I'm doing a voiceover now, my mic died and I didn't know. So I've got all this footage of me walking around telling you a nice story and there's no sound. So, but that's okay, I can do a voiceover. So just some shots from different angles around the fence to show you what it looks like now that it's getting a bit more complete. I like the inside view here. It really looks like a enclosed garden now, so yeah, pretty happy with how that's looking. By the time that's all rendered, that's going to be really good. So the styrene that I'm picking up will have enough to do all of those piers, the whole lot, so that'll be really good. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow with another video, and until then, you take care. So wait for it. I'll see you then. Cheers.